I spoke about the rural areas, rural poor, rural money reaching the hands of the farmers and so on. Now I just very quickly mention about urban poor. In just the last 2 months, again, during the COVID period, again, what activity has happened to reach out to the urban poor, which includes migrants. Government of India has permitted state governments to utilize State Disaster Response Fund, which goes from the center, for setting up shelter for migrants and providing them food and water. Just rough estimate that I'm giving you, 11,000 crores were sent in that name through the SDRF, with which they run the shelter homes, with which they give them food, with which they take care of them. And that money was also sent from the center. Of course, states do have a right, but that was given. And using that money, many of the migrants have been attended to. So I want that to be kept in context when we talk about attending to the migrants. Again, there are shelter homes which are under the shelter for urban homeless category. That is something which normally is there. But in those shelter for urban homeless, 3 meals are provided entirely at the cost of the central government. So homeless who live in urban areas, particularly in the COVID situation, are getting 3 meals per day. And I'm not saying this as though, oh, we've done this. I'm saying more from the point of view of we are conscious. We are attending to the migrants and we are giving them in various different ways. Food, taking care of them in the shelters, reaching cash to them. All this has been done, and therefore I'm enumerating. And did I do this some other time last year? No. I am showing you what has happened in the last 2 months, the critical lockdown period. So in shelter homes, 3 meals are being provided for people who are urban homeless. Now, the other thing, you may recall when the Prime Minister addressed the nation, how India's capacities can be utilized so that we can serve the globe, and how those capacities are lying dormant, and we are the ones who have to give the stimulus. All of us will have to. 12,000 self-help groups all over the country. This is an example which Honorable Prime Minister referred to. 12,000 SHG groups have produced over 3 crore of masks and 1.20 lakh liters of sanitizers, again during this COVID period. And the self-help groups in urban centers are with urban poor. So urban poor are contributing also in this COVID period. And self-help groups, as you know, is something which is supported by the central government also. Another experiment which was successful is for disbursing revolving funds to the SSGs, and these revolving funds for the self-help groups have also become on board a Paisa portal. It is called PA, all in capital, I is small and SA, Paisa portal, as of April. And now many state governments, seeing the pilot project which had happened in Gujarat, want their people also to get onto this, and through this a lot of across the state benefits which they can get will be available for the SHGs. And lastly, for the urban poor, 7,200 new SHG groups have been formed, newly formed for the urban poor, and that commenced from 15th March. Critical COVID time. New self-help groups for whom assistance get given, and they get benefit from revolving funds and so on to catch on with what they want to do for their livelihoods. So during these 2 months, COVID period, you have these activities which have happened with central government participating actively in these 2 months only.